Hi, this is Mrs. B. So welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do something different. I would actually do a full face tutorial with you and just kind of sit down and chit chat. Nothing special, just so you can get to know who I am. I'm not a makeup artist. I just do me. Okay, so I might be doing things wrong. I might look kind of crazy to you, but at the end of the day, this is what I like. And I've gotten a lot of compliments on my makeup. So I just thought this would be a comfortable way of talking to you through YouTube and also doing my makeup. Okay, so I've already washed my face and I've put on a moisturizer and an eye cream because I have some dark pigmentation underneath my eyes. And I do try to color correct those. And you'll see that in my tutorial. I do have some spots on my face, so this is me in the raw. Let's go ahead, and I'm only gonna just kind of talk to y'all. I'll put in the comment section all the products I use so that you can have them, and I'll kind of just try to show you the products as we talk. So my name is Iris Blackshire, and originally I am from Augusta, Georgia. And if you know anything about Augusta, Georgia, you know that's the home of James Brown, the Masters for golf. We have a lot of different things to be known for, some good, some bad, but mostly James Brown and the Masters golf tournament. I was born in Augusta, but then shortly my mother remarried and moved to a small town by the name of Waynesboro, Georgia. And so there I grew and developed as a young lady. Not all my experiences were good. Most of them were pretty good. It made me who I am. I'm going to use this too. And so, you know, in time, you learn how to deal with adversities in life. And so I was always a heavy-set child. Large, heavy-set young lady. And a lot of times, you know, back then, it wasn't cool to be heavy or what they call fat. I got picked on, I got called names, but some people were mean to me, you know. I'm not saying the whole city was mean, you know, but, you know, I think kids bully other kids or talk about other kids because they're insecure about something about themselves. So instead of them trying to correct their imperfect imperfections, they tend to make other kids feel bad about themselves in order for them to feel good about themselves, you know. But I live with it, you know. I was the only child. Kids would tease me and chase me home from school. I didn't have, I could have, you know, some friends that would help, but who wants to help the fat girl? And that's my birthmark there. Who wants to help the fat girl when she's being teased and bullied? You know, like, it wasn't, nobody wants to associate themselves with the fat girl, you know, like, not during the time that they're being bullied or picked on, or, you know, just, you kind of just, you know, had to deal with it. And I did. You know, sometimes it made me bitter. It made me resent people. And then in some ways it made me just the opposite. It made me want to be a people pleaser. And so I kind of grew up wanting to please different people in my life that did not deserve to be pleased. You know, like in relationships, you know, anything so that they will be my friend, You know, if it means me spending my money on them when they didn't really deserve it, that's what I did. If it means just to be accepted in the crowd, you know, that's what I did, because as a child I wanted friends. Now, I'm not saying all my friends were that way, Lord knows, because I did have some good friends, some people that were there for me through thick and thin. So no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, for the majority, you know, being ostracized as a child, you know, you just kind of look at your life and say, wow, I can't believe I went through that. You know, I, you know, actually learned a lot about life and about myself. And, you know, all good things must come to an end, because actuality, when you get sick and tired of people harassing you, calling you names, you start standing up for yourself. And so that's what I did. I started standing up for myself. Then I was the troublemaker, you know, because I was not conforming to what they wanted me to be, or, you know, however they wanted to manipulate me. They were not able to anymore. Make sure you get underneath your chin. So, in time, you know, I had a lot of haters. Well, you know, life happens. Oh well. We just learn to deal with it. And that's what I did. I learned to deal with it. And a lot of times I was very lonely. A lot, you know, growing up, being by myself, having really nobody. And dealing with being by myself. I owe a lot to my stepfather, even though he's deceased now, but he taught me a lot about life, about men, about people. Even though I learned from my mom and my aunt as well, but he was that man in my life. So, yeah. So then, after high school, I decided that I did not want to go to school with people I went to high school with. And so I was really torn, because I had put in a lot of applications for colleges and got accepted. Some I didn't. But, you know, I always said, everything ain't for everybody. And so sometimes it's a blessing that you don't get accepted, or don't make the cut, you know. Then I went to Johnson C. Smith University. And when I tell you it was instant love, I fell in love with Johnson C. Smith University immediately. So that's how I got into Charlotte, because of the love I felt for Johnson C. Smith. I wanted to go into banking. Didn't quite know what I wanted, or like what field of banking, but I knew that I was supposed to handle people's money. That's what I told my mom when I was in high school. And my other girlfriends wanted to all go into medicine. And so, and that's what they did. They stayed home or near home to go into medicine. So, I majored in banking and finance. And then I went on and started working. I was kind of lost when I first got out of school. I went home, tried to find a job in Georgia. Oh, let me back up. And while in school, I joined a sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. And it was the best thing for me because for once in my life, I felt accepted. Somebody wanted me, you know? So again, there's that need to feel accepted because I didn't have that feeling growing up as a child. So I joined the sorority, and I'm not gonna say my whole life was based around my sorority, but it helped me to become a well-rounded young lady. Let me put it that way. Went home for about 6 months until, if everybody knows my mom, she is Miss Southern Belle, and so everything has to be done prim and proper. And when I say prim and proper, I really mean prim and proper. So, you know, young ladies come in at a decent time, and you just followed this code of living, standard of living. You know, I always tease her because I always tell her she still has her pearls on, even though she doesn't wear them all the time, but she has them. But that's what I always say to her, you know. She always wears her pearls. She's such a lady. And she has such a diplomatic way of doing stuff, saying things, getting whatever her point across without insulting or hurting somebody's feelings. So, I mean, everybody loves her. So, so then I'm trying to live up to be like my mom. I'm not. I'm a lady, but I'm not the lady. Not like my mom. She is the lady. We all have those type of people in our lives where we just don't meet up or make up. But she taught me a lot about being a woman too. She's always said to me, you know, basically, to hell with people if they don't respect you or see your value. To hell with them. She's always said, you know, regardless of what size I am, I'm just a beautiful girl. So I always knew my mom loved me, you know, like that was a given. I have an older sister that passed away before I was born. So I think my mom holds on to me because of my sister's death. You know, like, not that she doesn't love me, but because she didn't have my sister and she lost my sister at a very young age of life. My sister had spinal meningitis. So I think that drove my mom to love me even the more. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I know, you know, like I know that. So then, where was I? So one day, you know, after my mom was trying to tell me how young ladies should act and come in at a decent hour, and I packed up the car that my parents bought me. Yep, I was bold, right? Yeah. Packed up my car and told my mom I love you, but in order for us to get along, I gotta go. And you know, I know she cried because you know I was a baby. I was the only girl, only child, and I'm leaving her, you know. So packed up my car, and this is another reason why sorority sisters are so good. I packed up my car and I moved to Charlotte and lived with my sorority sisters. And I slept on the floor. And it did not bother me. Made pallets, slept on the floor, was broke. I would sleep on the floor, and I would say that was probably the best time of my life. Well, not one of the best times. And the reason why I say that, because I had nothing. You know, like, I didn't have anything. I didn't have money, didn't have a job, and scraped and saved just to eat. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't know, you know, like the things you go through. They look at you and they're like, oh, she has it together. No, we did not have it together. I remember one time we went to this little diner. Went to this little diner and we ate breakfast, and I drank water. Whatever the special was, that's what we got. I want to say we spent no more than $5 all together on both of us. And we took that money and ate because we were hungry. Oh my God. But I, you know, like, we made it work. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just kind of made it work. And so we grew real close together because of that. And we, you know, like, we had each other. It's a lot of things people take for granted. Sorry. They think people's lives are just perfect, and they're not. But at that time, she and I had each other. So that was perfect for me, you know. Then we were living with another soror, and we decided to move out because that sorority sister was trying to build her life with her family. You know, she got pregnant, some other things was going on, and so we moved out. We got our own place. You know, we loved each other, but you know, everybody has their crosses to bear. You know, everybody got a different life, different reason for existence. So then I got a job at the bank as a teller. One of my employees at the department store that I worked at, I was the manager. Asked me, what are you doing here with a degree in banking? And I said, well, can't get a job. And that's everybody's story, you know, like you do what you do to make your ends meet. And so she said, well, I'm gonna get you a job. And when people tell you they're gonna get you a job, you say, oh, I know I forgot something. You just say, okay, all right, lady. Sturdy, sorry. Just gel for my eyebrows. And so then she did get me this job. And I never forget all my jobs I've gotten, I don't want to say nonchalantly, but I was late for the interview because I was getting my nails done. And when the lady said to me, I want to offer you this job. Well, when she told me to fill out the application, I scribbled all over the application because I don't know, I was crazy, young and dumb. You know, kind of, you remember when you used to make mistakes in school and you take your marker and scribble. Well, that's what I did. Crazy. Okay. Let's do this. So she hired me anyway as a teller. I worked at that teller job for exactly a year, I think. But I knew I wasn't going to stay that long. Once I realized I can write my own ticket, that's what I did. I decided to learn the customer service rep at that time, that's what they call them, learn their job so that I can move up. And that's what I did. I learned their job, started making cold calls. I got recognized on the job, and oh, sorry, I keep forgetting. And being recognized something other than being fat. So I applied for a new position and received it. I know you're saying you're doing that kind of awkward, but got the job, and had to move out of my comfort zone and get a new position out further from where I lived. So I did that job, the customer service job, for about a year. All my jobs have been about a year. And so once I did that job, but I did that job for about a year, and then became a analyst in a call center, and basically we helped branch personnel with policy and procedures, with maintenance to their laptop. I mean, well, at that time, desktop. I'm really messing this up, but it all works out in the end. And so I did that job, and of course I couldn't settle for just doing that job, so I tried to learn as much as I could, and when I did, I posted for what at that time they call them a senior position, and that is a position where, you know, I think they call them like work directors now, but so I had a team of individuals, and basically I tried to teach them everything that I knew. And that's all those who know me, I don't hold back. If I have some knowledge, I'll give it to you. I know I just goofed up all my wing liner, but like I said, I'm not perfect here. So make that point. Okay. So then having some difficulties at work, I decided to go back to school. Not so much difficulties from my part, but again, trying to please people. And makeup is not perfect, y'all. People are not perfect. Makeup is not perfect. But after I got that job as a senior analyst, that wasn't good enough for me either. So I went back to school. I said that, didn't I? And then from school, I received my master's. And after receiving my master's, I posted for a different job, and got that job. And so then I became a business analyst. And so what a business analyst does is it looks at the existing business, and it works on projects, whether big or small, doesn't matter, projects to enhance the business or to bring the business up to code or up to compliance standards. So I worked in that job for a while, until I was displaced, laid off. And so at this point, you're talking about 25 years of working my butt off, not having a family, not having a husband. You know, I had situations where I had men in my life, or one in particular, and I did get pregnant, had a miscarriage, and you know, I just think back at the time when the lady was reading me the little layoffs information, all the times where I did not enjoy my life. And when I say enjoy my life, like I didn't I didn't try to get married. You know, like I dated and I wanted to be married, but I really didn't date the right man to become married. And I think in the back of my mind, I knew I wasn't dating the right man. I did it because, I don't have any eyeliner on. I did it because I thought I was going to move up in the corporate world. So I sacrificed my life for a job. So as she's reading this paper to me, I'm thinking to myself, I gave up my whole life for you to read this paper to tell me after 23 years I was not worthy of keeping. I had no value. That's the way I felt. Again, rejection. So that day, she said I could go home. You know, I guess she didn't want me to break down and cry, commit suicide, or anything at the job. But I came home, and I'm not a quitter. It takes a lot to make me give up, and I think that's another problem in my life. I don't know when to give up. I'm gonna try to make everything work, because I'm not a failure. So I was learning how to run at that time, and so did I show you this? Sorry. So I went to the running trail and started running, and it seemed like the Lord just spoke to me and said, it's gonna be all right. Why are you worried? I've always had you. I've had you this far. I'll take you on. So I came in that day after running and crying on the track, and I don't know, I just felt relieved. Started working on my resume. Now at this point, I've gotten 2 masters. I don't know if I said that, but at that point I had 2 masters in my eyes. And so for my masters, I have 1 in accounting and 1 in business, regular MBA. And so I decided, sorry for moving out the camera's way. I decided, highlighter, that I would start applying for jobs. So I went out to Monster, went out to any job website I could find, and just started applying for jobs. So I woke up every day as if I was on the job. It's pretty. And I applied for a job. So at 8 o'clock in the morning, I sat down at my computer. And this is for somebody who's been laid off, is looking for a job. And I went through the internet applying for jobs like I was on a job. That was my job. From 8 to 5, I applied for jobs. And so applying for those jobs, some days will be me taking phone interviews. Some days will be me actually going to interviews. Some interviews I knew I didn't want, but I went anyway. And the only reason why I went is because I wanted to get the practice of interviewing, getting in the swing of the questions that they asked. So then I set up interviews with contracting companies. And those contracting companies helped me. They took my resume and they said, you need to improve this. I improved my resume so that I could get a job. And then I got to the point where everything I would say in those initial phone interviews became redundant. And I knew exactly what they wanted from me. I knew what to say it, how to phrase it. And so I became a robot, and I just kept saying, you know, whatever they wanted me to say, that's what I said. And so I never forget, it was the end of the year, and I was home for Christmas, and I was sitting there thinking, I don't have a job because now I'm fully laid off. I was getting a check, but I didn't have a job. So all of a sudden on my cell phone, I get this call, and it's a company. I hate that they put these, can you see? Does it focus? Leading lady. They put the stickers all on the tube of lipstick. I'm going to do a haul review on this. But, anyway. And so, I took his call. I was very nonchalant. And he said, Iris, I want you to come in for another interview. And I said, okay, but I'm on Christmas break. Nonchalant. How you gonna tell somebody you don't have a job that you can't come in because you're on Christmas break? Like, really? But that's what I did. And he was like, okay, when you come back in town? And so I told him. So he scheduled me an interview to come in to the office and talk to him. And that's what I did. I went in the nonchalant again. They offered me the job right on the spot. No, I take that back. I'm lying. They offered me the job 10 minutes after I left. They called me and offered me the job. And so basically I was doing VA work for an onshore, offshore company. And so working at that place, it taught me that, again, that working for a small company, I thought working for a large company was scary because they're the ones that laid me off. But working for a smaller company was even scarier. You just don't know, like, if they're gonna have the doors open. You know, you just hear so many things. But it was a good company, you know, but still, you just have that inner fear. You're like, you're gonna come to work and will the doors be open? And so, yeah. So, I worked there, and then I decided that I needed to come back to a larger company. Also fell out with my immediate supervisor. She expected too much. Too much mineralizing powder. She expected too much from you to hold a spot for her best friend, because that's who she hired to replace me. And she claimed she needed a project manager with more experience than what I had. So, okay, no problem. So she says, oh, you have 30 days. And I said, oh, yeah? In other words, lady, you don't tell me what I got. I tell you what I got. How about that? So I gave her 2 weeks notice. She said, oh, well, you got to get, can't even think of the lady's name. You got to get her trained. I said, oh, okay. Teach her everything that you do. Well, okay. In the back of my mind, why should I have to tell her what I do? If she had more experience in what I was doing, she didn't just do it, right? I think I want to put on some shadow, eyeshadow. So, yeah, that's what happened between me and that company. So, I was not upset. You know, my heart was broken, you know, because I worked really hard for that company. And then the main company that hired me was wanting me to come in and train newcomers on the system. But at that point, I was like, I ain't had enough of this. This is for the birds. I'm not, you know, like, I'm move on, little doggy. I'm not. Found another contracting job, but this time it was back at my old bank. So at first I was like, Iris, do you really want to do this? And then I was like, oh, well, okay, I'll do it. So that's what I did. I went back contract, and it was supposed to be 6 months to perm. Well, I didn't make it 6 months. The manager loved me, so he went on and hired me and the lady that came in with me early. So I knew that was God looking out for me, because just think about it, you know, like, you know, somebody just told me I wasn't good enough for a job, and then somebody else recognizes my worth and gives me a full-time job. So, yeah. So, he fell in love with me and hired me full-time. At the time, I was dating my husband now, and he says he always loved me, even from high school, because we went to high school together. And you know me, by that time I had heard every man's line pickup story, every tall tale. The dog ran after the cat, and the cat, I'm putting this on with the wrong brush, that's why I'm having difficulties. The cat ran after the cow, and the cow, you know, I had had enough men lying to me in my life, that I had heard them all. This is what I need. So at that point in my life, you know, I was scared, because here's a man that says he loves me, and I'm like, okay, too good to be true type thing, you know, like, when is the bottom gonna fall out? When is the cat gonna come back? That type of thing. So we dated, and finally he's like, look, I don't just want to date you. And ladies always listen to this. He said, I don't want to just date you. I want to marry you. I said, me? Like, okay, all right. We can get married in 3 years. Yeah, that's enough time for me to plan the wedding. 3 years. Now, you know. That was fear. Fear of it not working, the rejection, not being accepted. You know, fear will kill you every time. So we got married, and along with being married to my husband, I have beautiful children and grandchildren that I love them, and I wouldn't give them up for the world, even though I don't have any physical children. But I love them just like they're my own. And that's who Mrs. B is. Wouldn't trade my kids and my grandkids for the world. Need to curl there. So many times good Lord, we judge ourselves because of how other people make us feel, instead of just loving ourselves for who we are. God created us all. And I know there's some people who don't believe in God, but I do. I'm a Christian. God created us all for a reason and a purpose in life. You just got to find your purpose. You got to find the reason why you were created. And once you find that reason, then you latch onto it, and then you ask God every day to show you what He will have for you to do in the kingdom of God. And because I love people, in a way I'm still that people person, I started YouTube because I want to connect to God's people. It's the people of the universe. I'll help anybody. I'll help bear. If you're hungry, I'll feed you. Well, that's my look. I think I need to blend that a little bit more. But that's how I achieve the Mrs. B look. Okay, so till next time, thank you. Love y'all. And just remember, find your purpose. Bye-bye.